We have a special guest tonight, and Joe Cool, who's the National Sales Manager from Juki. Okay.
Well, hello, everybody. Nice to be here. I appreciate Joan and Robert and everybody let me in since 9:30 this morning. They've been putting up with me, so I appreciate that, and I apologize to them also. So, I'm really proud to be with the company. I've been with them over 10 years. We're over 80 years old now. Okay, we started in the home sewing machine industry, but we are probably the world's leader in commercial machines now. Mm-hmm. That is our main business. But a lot of what we develop commercially, we bring into the home. I'm going to take it. You give me a minute. I'm taking an hour here. Okay. This is a limited edition machine. We've only made 2,000 for sale in the U.S. market. But it is the TL 2020 Platinum Edition. It comes with, we've included, and I really couldn't tell you how many feet, but there's about $350 worth of feet. Probably every foot you could think of for quilting, from a ruler foot to free motion to your 1/4-inch foot. Walking foot is just
it has the upgraded walking foot.
It has the upgraded walking foot with the quilt guide included with that. Okay. Yeah. And the large extension table also comes with this. Included with this. And it is a limited edition, and every machine will come with, once you register the machine, you will get a certificate of authenticity signed by Mr. Nita, president of Juki America. It's been a great machine. It is a high-speed machine. It's 1,500 stitches a minute. It's very fast. Not just for piecing and your free motion, but if you're into bags and totes, things like that. Great machine. One thing on this machine that I want to point out that the 2010 does not have, because somebody asked that question, we're coming out with a lot of accessories, binders, folders, double fold binders, that you attach to the bed of the machine. On the 2010, the screws, where you screw in the screws for the attachments, that's actually threaded into the base of the machine. And if you cross thread those or mess up that threads, it's a little difficult to retap the threads. So we did put a replaceable plate on here. Oh, so the double fold binders that are coming out, the single fold binders, things like that, now they attach to this plate. But that's something we took right from our commercial machine and brought it into this. Well, Juki being the leader in commercial sewing machines, we partnered with Tajima for the embroidery machine. Tajima is the leader of commercial embroidery machines. We figured they do it well. Why should we try to reinvent it? So it is a commercial machine, but it's compact, and it comes with all the accessories you can think of to get started. So we call this a compact commercial embroidery machine. Not only do you get the hoops, 2 of the 8x12s, 2 of the 4x4s. Hats are big, very big. People like to do hats. We include the cat frames, 2 of those. But you also get a full software digitizing program, which Joan saw today. So you can create your own designs. And we call it a complete compact commercial embroidery system because you don't have to go out and buy the hoops. You don't have to go out and buy the software. It's all included for you. It's 8 needle. Okay, so it's above the 6 needle. Some people ask why we didn't do 10. Well, Tajima has bigger ones. They have 15 needles. But again, this is compact for the home, so we want to make it size-wise for the home user.
Well, I mean, why would somebody want to have one of these?
I think that's a great question.
Because my wife needs a new pair of shoes, and she wants a new quilting machine. Does anybody care about that? No. Okay.
They can sympathize
you
with
can
that.
sympathize with that, yeah. No, this really, if you want to start an embroidery business at home, this, I strongly would recommend go to this machine. The pulse motors, the belting, it's the same material and technology Tajima uses on their big multi-head machines. Mm-hmm. This machine is made to work 8 hours a day. It's not a home machine that you're trying to do a business with. It's very consistent speed-wise. Somebody says, well, it's 800 stitches, but other machines are faster. This doesn't drop the speed. It consistently does that stitching all the way through your design. So it finishes quicker because it's not up and down. Mm-hmm. But because you're not ramping up, slowing down, it's less wear and tear the machine. So if you want to start a business, if you're new to multi-needle embroidery machines, it's very easy to know how to use. If you brought a design in that you had, and I have no idea what designs we're looking at here, so, but we could bring in a design. Let's pick that one and just set it on the screen. Oh, I've got the cap hoop on. If you notice that, it says reset because the design is too big for the frame. I can just go back to home. I go back to my frame, so I have the cap frame set. I need to put the bigger frame on for that design. Okay, so go back to the hat. What's nice is when you bring in a design, you choose your color that's here. So I'm just going right back to Juki. We did that. We had changed the needle thread assignment on a machine. So right now, it's going to, the first color, we only have one, it's going to be needle number 7. If I don't want needle 7, which happens to be a dark blue, maybe I want to
do it in the pink.
We'll
and
do number 1.
it just a little bit.
Now it's going to stitch. I'm going to move that to stitch up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just touch one. Now it's going to do that color. That's how easy it was to assign a color to an area. I would just touch set. This is where I would, if I was bringing a design in originally step by step, set my frame so I have the right frame set. And what I like on this, if you can see the crosshairs with the camera, those large laser crosshairs.
I can zoom in on it, sir.
Zoom in there. That's for your placement of your pattern. So on the screen, there's 9 different points. Might be tough, but now my crosshairs, the top right, or the bottom left, or the center of my design. It makes it very easy to position your design. So I put it on the bottom, I just touch set, and now I can move my machine. If you can hear this, because there's pulse motors in there, no step motors, you can see how quiet that is in movement.
And he's moving the hat.
I'm going to try to stitch right over top of that. What I like on this, before I sew, it's going to make me trace the outline to make sure that I'm not outside my hoop. It won't let me do it. It's that smart of a machine. It's not me. It's nothing I did.
How big of an area can we stitch on a hat?
You can do 3 inches by 12, so you can come almost from side to side.
That's something
3
a
by
lot
12.
of them cannot do.
So you could do the I love quilting almost all the way
You
across.
could.
I love quilting all the way around. Do that one more time for us.
I love quilting.
So it fit. We know it fits. The problem I run into all the time, I press start and nothing happens. I keep on pressing start and nothing happens. Or I could just press start. It's a very fast ramp up time. It starts to speed quickly.
This machine will come with owner's training, so it's not like you're just going to buy it.
Can I come in into it? Can I come in into it? We'll have a lot of fun.
From Joe.
There you go.
So yes, we do have training and we do have classes. We have all kinds of embroidery classes actually. I have a multi-needle that I sew on at home. It's unfortunately not this one, but
It could be.
it could be. I do sew on it here. I've actually made some things from this machine. So it is very, very quiet. Comparatively to the other machines, even when you turn it on and it does that initialize, because it's going to move the hoop a little bit, and or even if you don't have a frame, it's going to move the frame a little bit. Very quiet. You don't even hear it, which just my mouth was hanging open when he first turned it on.
I think it's pretty, I mean, it boots up pretty fast too.
It does.
which
Ramps
I
up
thought
the
was
speed
Interesting.
very quick. DX-4000, the Kokochi, which means in Japanese good feeling. I mean, you feel very good sewing on the Kokochi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? And I probably pronounced that wrong. I don't know. One of the biggest thing about it, the lighting. You've got LED lights over the needle, 2 LED lights over the 12-inch opening on the machine. Okay, so it's 12 inches, and if you notice the height also, there's 12-inch machines in the market that are only 4 inches high. We kept the height of that, so you have room underneath there. But the screen, this is much bigger than your entire cell phone. Mm-hmm. It's much easier to use, and what's nice, if you go to different stitches, it's just a touch screen. You swipe it.
Yeah.
So it's just simply, if you want to do that stitch, you touch it. There's your stitch. If you want to make changes, you actually see the changes you make on the screen.
So you're doing it with the knob.
I'm doing it with a knob because a knob will give you much finer adjustments. See, 2.2, 2.0 instead of going like 2.4 or 2.5. It's much finer adjustments with knobs than it is the little arrows on it. In different stitches, you just touch the screen. Like the zigzag. Let's go to zigzag. Even your width, when you go to change it, you can see all that on the screen. So all my settings are easily on the screen I'm sewing on. If I want to lock stitch when I start, I turn it on.
Is this a 9mm zigzag?
7.
7
millimeters. We stayed at 7 because 9 is just with quilters. That's a little bit too wide in the weight of fabric, and you end up using a 7. So we stayed at 9 or 7. So you have the stitching you can turn off or on. If you want to, you have a control that your presser foot. You can, when you sew and you stop, you can set it to lift with the needle down, so you can just pivot your corners. You don't have to stop, let go of the fabric, and turn. It does have a knee lift still with it, but that pivot feature makes it really nice. Scissors, you can turn those off or on, so when you're finished, it's going to cut the thread for you.
Automatically? Or?
Automatically.
Well, that's new.
Automatically. You hit the reverse, it takes the lock stitch and cuts the thread for you.
Guess what I'm going to be sewing on next week?
But one of the biggest things about this machine is the TL series, like the Platinum, the 2010, the TL18, they have a beautiful straight stitch. And the reason they have such a beautiful straight stitch is the feed dog. Okay, the feed dog are very narrow compared to your 7mm wide zigzag. And the plate on a straight stitch machine, the feed dogs are much closer to the needle hole, so it controls the fabric much better than putting a straight stitch plate on a wide zigzag feed dog. So again, our commercial heritage, it's very common to change feed dogs when you do different stitching. So what we've done here is the only machine on the market that will do that. You simply pop off your plate, and you can see the difference in the plates.
Oh yeah.
Zigzag, straight stitch. Now, you would take your feed dog just to lift up in the front. They pop out. So you want that straight stitch like you have on your TL series. All you do is snap in your feed dog, slide your plate in, snap it down, and now, if you put it all the way down, there we go. You're doing straight stitch with a straight stitch quality like the semi-professional machines. A nice safety feature, right now, I cannot do anything but a straight stitch. It won't let me do a zigzag and damage the machine.
Because it knows the plate.
It knows the plate's on there. But now we have a straight stitch machine, very similar to the TL2 series. Now this is not as fast, it's 1,050 stitches a minute at top speed.
That's still pretty fast.
But the best for last, you don't have it activated. I'm very disappointed.
I thought we did.
No, I checked, it's not. It has Wi-Fi. No, you can't watch Netflix. But you can go right to the Juki website, watch videos right on the screen. When you start to sew, it'll pause the videos. So, it's kind of like text and driving. You shouldn't do that. None of us do. I know none of us do that. But here you can't, because it pauses the video. And when you come back, it picks up right where you left off. But it's not just Juki videos. They can go to your YouTube site also. So it does have Wi-Fi. Again, not to watch TV on. But you can watch your sewing videos and then go right back to sewing.
Oh, that's so convenient, because there's been so many times it's like, okay, where did I leave my manual?
Right.
And
It's
I just
all
need to do this
right
one
there.
thing.
Besides the Wi-Fi, the manual is literally built into the machine. You don't even have to go on Wi-Fi to get to the manual. It's built into the machine memory.
Even better. So,